friends, I'm Kimberly.
And I'm Tori.
And you are listening to
It's Nothing, It's Everything.
Okay.
I started doing voice lessons again, which has been so lovely because I don't really have any reason to, other than I do like to sing and
it brings you joy.
It brings me joy, and occasionally people pay me to do it.
That's right. It's also time to yourself.
It's time to myself, doing something that, I had a very traumatic end of last year.
Yeah.
Got sick, lost my voice during a show, had to keep pushing because I didn't have an understudy.
Mm-hmm.
So fucked it up hard. Like the inflammation never went away for months and months after. So then I had to go get scoped, did all the things, went to go see this lady who's a doctor of the voice. And, but I was like, I liked doing that. That was nice. So I went back after everything kind of healed up, started working with her. But, she was saying, I was like, she's like, how often are you, doing warm-ups?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, never, girl. Like, you are it. She's like, listen, everybody thinks that they have to put up like an hour aside to do a full, No, you don't. You go to the bathroom how many times a day? Every time you're there when I'm doing my social media.
Yeah.
You could be doing scales.
Just lip trills.
You could be doing lip trills. You could be doing all of these, she said all the different things that I could do. And I was just like, oh.
Which also, even just for talking in a hot room.
Well, right. She really hates the fact that I don't have a microphone in my teaching setting.
I do too.
And
all instructors should have microphones.
Well, I had an opinion about that. There was part of me that was like, as somebody who classic musical theater, right? Before we were really using microphones, our job was to be able to project in a healthy way to grandma in the back row.
Mm-hmm.
And so like my old man self is like, just fucking pull yourself up by your bootstraps and do it. And I don't think that is necessary. I mean, like, I don't know. A part of me still believes that just because but then I had to use the microphone when I taught. And some of the things, one, I didn't have to push.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Because we get lazy too. And so I caught myself, especially when I was being very aware of any time I opened my mouth.
Yeah.
But actually I had a student who was hard of hearing who was like, I loved when you used your microphone. It was just one I bought off of Amazon that was like attached to my body.
Yeah.
Right. It was not, she got overheated a lot and it would start to crackle and pop. And so it was like caused me a lot of anxiety and stress. Cause like in the middle of class or like at the beginning of class where I'm like, okay, I'm using this cause I have to, cause I can't project that loud.
Yeah.
And then it would just go off and I'd be like, cool, now I'm stuck in this room for an hour.
Yeah.
Really having to choose what cues I am giving people. But the positive was like, I didn't know she was hard of hearing. She's, one of my students for a long time. And she was like, I could hear everything you said. And I was like, oh, well, then maybe I do that more.
I mean, yeah. And it's for everybody too. And also that environment. I mean, when I was teaching in Jakarta and I was teaching 10 classes a week, I fucking shredded my voice. That heat and that humidity is not good when it's that constant. It's so hard because you're just always inflamed then.
Yeah.
So yeah, I am not of the mindset that you should have the skills to be able to project 8 shows
like that
a week
anymore.
But I understand where I completely understand that.
Because then when I did Bohemia and I was coming out of, I had spent a month prepping with a bunch of professionals. I had been on vocal rest. God, for honestly, a half of a month. Like it was really horrible and gross. I hated it so much.
Remember.
I had that button that says I'm on medical vocal rest. Still have it somewhere. And then really relearning how to trust a microphone when I sang with a microphone. It was like, why have I not been doing this my whole time?
Yeah.
The whole time. Why have I been trying so hard? It's just a different skill.
It's also a much different skill than performing where you have the same lines every single night and you apply your VPS skills and techniques to those words in order to present them to an audience every night. Whereas when you're teaching a class, you're not scripted.
No.
You're improv.
All day, baby.
All day.
Yeah.
So there is not that muscle memory and that application of one skill to the other in a refined setting. You are like off the cuff.
But
also the energy is dependent on the classroom, on the students in the class.
On
like
the
there's on the music, there's so much that you don't get to plan for when you're teaching.
And music is
group
such
fitness.
a driving force for me.
Yes.
Like I want that pumping music. That's how I move best.
Yeah. But to speak over that, especially if it's music with lyrics, which is what you want to have recognizable music in your class.
Yeah.
It's a lot on your voice.
Yeah. So, but here's the thing that I do now is I warm up and I cool down after every. I know. So, anyway, hi, I'm Tori.
Hi, I'm Kimberly. This is our podcast. It's about stuff and stuff.
It's about nothing.
It's also about everything.
Yeah. So thanks for being here.
How do you take care of your voice?
How do you take care of your voice? I mean,
have you gone to a silent retreat yet?
I don't.
Can you imagine?
No. Honestly, no.
How am I supposed to process?
How am I going to crack all my jokes?
I know.
Like, I think that would be the hardest part.
You would have to be like slapstick Three Stooges.
Because like,
you could only make people laugh.
Because I mean, like when you take away one of your senses,
your
other ones become heightened.
Yeah.
Right. And so
that's
I would probably see absolutely everything that's fucking funny, or I could make a joke of. I'd be like, you see that guy?
Yeah.
See how he waddles? And those flippity floppities, and I couldn't say that to anybody. My head would explode.
She wouldn't survive.
No, I think I would be dead. I'd be like, well, this has been fun. Goodbye. We actually, for Mexico, Hannah and I had thought about doing a silent, like, hike, which I feel would be more. Well, remember we kind of did it. We did it for a beach section. We went. Remember that?
Also, that was so powerful.
It was really powerful. We'll probably do it again.
So we can all just weep silently
on each other.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. Yes. We did. Right. That part was silent.
Yeah.
But we did have something to do. It wasn't just like we're eating together and listening to each other chew.
Yeah.
And drink.
Tori, we're talking about chewing a lot today. How do you feel about chewing? How do you feel about?
Yeah, I don't know. It's not like.
How do you feel about? How are you feeling in your heart right now?
I mean, so moist, honestly. Like
your heart is feeling moist. Good. Good.
My heart feels so moist right now. Just a lot of like. So gross. Thanks for being here, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for tolerating us.
Good God.
What a
But
time.
I think it could be cool. So we were going to go on a walk. That's what we were
like that.
We were going to go on a walk, and then we were like, I don't know where we can walk at Shinalani, but
up the paved path to the waterfall,
to the bar.
Watch out for horse poop.
Can take a tequila shot.
Yeah. We last year, the retreat that was not you guys, she brought medicinal cacao, ceremonial cacao.
Oh, sure.
And we had a cacao ceremony, and then we all walked to the beach and sat in silence for I think 30 minutes, and just like let the cacao work its magic, because that's the whole thing about cacao is that it is a stimulant and it is meant to be an enhancer. But she was like, we're gonna turn off our mouths and we're gonna sit in our bodies and we're gonna feel what the cacao does and we're gonna observe. And I gotta tell you, it makes colors more vibrant. It makes also, I'm sure it was potent because it was ceremonial and not just like cacao from fucking Whole
Costco.
Foods. Yeah. But it was like all of the colors were more vibrant. It was almost like watching, this is going to sound so dumb. It was almost like watching
Bob Ross.
A literal motion picture, like a picture in motion, like the colors, like everything was,
it's like clay animation,
just like vibrant, as in like it was more saturated. Everything was more saturated. It was just like a more saturated version of reality. And then also we're like 15, 20 minutes into it, and then suddenly so we were at we had walked all the way down by the beach by where you first come in. If the boat takes you to the dock, not to what do you call it? What's that bar? Charlie's? Not to Charlie Bar, but over to the dock.
Oh,
we were over on that beach over there.
Oh.
And so we're all just like sitting there in silence and watching these birds playing. There's these little sandpipers playing and little sand crabs. And it was just like.
Did Steph do it?
Nat Geo. Yeah. It was like Nat Geo, but like maybe if you had microdose mushrooms. And then suddenly it's completely silent. And all of a sudden this giant humpback whale right on the other side of the dock fully breaches. Like straight up, like fully vertical whale. And then just like flops on its side, does this huge splash, and then we never saw it again. It never even surfaced again. And
was it real?
We all hallucinated the same thing. That's how magical the
cacao. Wow.
But so I will say the two silent moments that I've had at Ginalani, both were very magical in very different ways. It was a very like connective to the earth experience. I feel like with Carolyn's, with your guys's, it was like I'm connecting to my deep inner soul and wringing out all of the shit that is. So we're clearing out the cobwebs, and we're just gonna
no dark corner left.
Yeah. We're gonna shine the light into the darkness. Yeah.
This year will be really interesting. I'm excited for this year.
Yeah,
we have a very unique group of women going. Some OGs who've gone every year. This is our 5th year.
That's so
no, maybe 4. Maybe it's our 4th year.
Because you skipped a year last year. So I came to
the 3rd
2023.
Yes,
which was your 3rd year.
So this is our 4th year.
Yeah.
We have some. It's going to be really interesting.
Very eclectic.
Very eclectic, which eclectic is great. Like that's what I would have thought about your year's group. But man, was
Who
magic
knew?
birthed.
It was just the most magical blend.
Yeah. I can't wait. I'll sometimes just go to Shinalani's Instagram just to stare at where I get to sit and be like, I know what magic that is.
Yeah. I can't wait to be right there. I know what it looks like. I know what it smells like. I know what it feels like. That's that wind on the body moment.
Yes.
I know what it feels like to have that wind on my body at that part of the beach where that part of the ocean is doing. Yeah.
Reading a book with nowhere to be except right there.
Yeah. In your body.
Surrounded by people who don't give a shit what you look like. They just care what you feel like. On those creaky stairs going up.
The stairs forever. How many are there? 170.
167.
167 stairs.
Ooh,
boy.
Your ass is high and tight.
So much cardio. So much cardio. Went up to that fucking
all the way to the big one. Yeah, all the way to the big one. This is where we do our opening circle. And I remember every year that Hannah and I have done it, we've walked up, and by the time we get to the top, we're like,
yeah, sucking wind. Sweat is dripping off of your forehead.
Because it's also humid.
So humid.
There's no AC anywhere. But then they give you all that delicious food.
I know. It's the best.
Yeah.
Anyway,
there's that.
Yeah.
So today we're going to talk about something that out of the two of us, really, you can only speak about.
But I feel like we can both retrospectively speak about our experiences.
Yeah.
You know, to the level that we're
But like how to raise a teenager. Like, honestly, my question is how. Like, I don't know how. I hope that I get better as a parent. Do you get better?
You get different.
Okay.
Do you get better? I think that's a question for Rosalind, honestly. I don't know if I can answer that question
fairly. With that boyfriend.
She does keep asking when she gets to be on the podcast. Babe. She's at therapy right now.
I feel like that's that in itself.
Oh yeah.
A child going to therapy.
Yeah.
Just to have somebody outside of your family to talk to.
Yes, I do not. I want her to be able to talk to somebody about the issues that she has with me so that she can then come to me and we can come together and find resolution. And there is a natural parent-child power dynamic that I think stands in the way of that, even with parents with the best of intentions.
Yeah.
And then there are all the parents that don't have the best of intentions.
Yeah.
And, you know, we only know what we know and we all have our blind spots. And I want her to have a safe and neutral space with another grown-up that can help her navigate the shit.
When did she start going to therapy?
The first time she started going to therapy was in the pandemic. It was virtual. It did not go well. It was also like
what didn't go well?
she I think really struggled with virtual therapy and like, feeling comfortable enough to trust somebody
That's not there.
that's not there. Yeah. Well, and then also like they never really got past the surface, so they would just like talk about how school was. And for her it was like every day was Groundhog's Day. She would get out of bed, get on the computer, be on Zoom all day, and then be done with school. And then she would have to go sit on Zoom with a therapist and be like, school was Zoom.
Yeah.
Like there's just they never got anywhere.
Yeah.
It was a lot of surface buddy like, yeah, I like Ninja Turtles too. Wasn't really helpful.
Sure.
And then we started with this therapist at the beginning of this year. And it took us a while to find one because she wanted to do art therapy, which has been hugely helpful for her. So they'll draw, they'll make stuff. She does origami. So having something to do with her hands while she's talking through hard stuff has been hugely instrumental for her in learning how to process hard
which I
feelings.
think is in the same line, same theme of when you need to have hard conversation with your kids, go for a drive.
Yeah.
Or go for a walk, right? So that they don't have to sit
and stare at
you
and feel uncomfortable in their bodies.
Yeah. And so like, I mean, a car is great because like they're trapped there, but they're not, staring at you.
Yeah.
That has been,
and feeling the pressure.
Yeah. So anytime I've had to ask, I mean, like we have pretty low stakes right now.
Yeah.
With an 8 and a 5-year-old, but like, I can only imagine it getting bigger. But when I have to like practice this tool, we'll like go for a drive.
Yeah.
Or I'll do it when we're on a drive.
Yeah.
But I think that's cool. What a great tool of art.
Yeah. And it's so those were her two asks. In person, she was like, I cannot do virtual again. I said, no problem. And then she really wanted to do art therapy. Well, she initially wanted to she has a friend who is like super active with her therapist. Like they'll play ping pong or they're a lot more physically active. Or like my nephew does kickboxing therapy.
What?
Yeah. So she initially wanted
aggressive kids.
Yeah. Well, and also like because that's what helps him to figure out how to separate his emotions from his hormones,
Yes.
And therefore more easily access his emotions. And so she wanted to do something super physical. And then it was really hard to find someone that worked with our insurance, that worked with adolescents, that was trauma informed, that worked with adolescents with PTSD. Like there's so many sub bullets that had to also be fulfilled. And then on top of that, find a therapist that had some kind of additional tool set rather than just talk therapy. And so this one that we found, and then also have after school availability, which is usually like 2 hours.
Favorite color yellow. And
right.
I was a Libra.
Yeah, exactly. So after searching for what felt like literally forever, we finally found this one woman. I was like, babe, she doesn't do play therapy, but she does do art therapy. Like, can we at least just give her a try? And if you hate it, we'll keep looking. But like, let's not knock it until we try it and we know for sure. And then she tried it and she immediately loved it. So she has that. But I will say too, something that she is aware of and calls out is that we, and I specifically, give her more freedom to negotiate than most of her friends. But I'm like, we only have 2 rules in our household. One is we don't negotiate health and safety. And the second one is don't be an asshole.
And you have to have greens on your plate.
And greens, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But beyond that, like there's almost always wiggle room, even if it's a millimeter, right?
Yeah.
So like I want her to have the ability to navigate the wiggle room no matter where she is.
Wow.
Because I grew up in a very repressed environment, in a very punitive, I think probably like sort of stereotypical conservative American household where my voice did not have value compared to other voices. and my opinion did not weigh as much as other people's opinions. And my wants were always deprioritized. I shouldn't say always, but often deprioritized. And I think it was important for me to create a family environment where everybody got to be autonomous people.
Yeah.
And the power dynamic that naturally exists between parent and child is never going to go away. My job is to keep her safe, which means my job is to provide boundaries and to push back and say, I'm not willing to let you do this thing that I don't feel good about, that makes me feel like I am putting you at risk that I'm not willing to put you at. Those boundaries are always going to exist. But within that, I'm going to give her room to negotiate. Because I want her to be solution oriented before she comes to me. I don't want her to be coming to me asking for permission for everything. I want her to be coming to me with a plan and I want her to have that anticipatory mindset of like, okay, I want my boyfriend to come over today, but I've been away at camp for a week. My room's a fucking disaster. I haven't showered. I haven't done any laundry. So last night when she asked me if he could come over today, I was like, what needs to happen first? And she was like, what do you mean? And I was like, you've been gone for a week. What needs to happen? What state is your room in? And she's like, okay, I'll do my laundry. I'll pick up. I'll do all X, Y, and Z. And that's, to me, what's more important to teach her, rather than be like, no, he may not come over until you've done your chores. What are your primary responsibilities? And have you accounted for those before moving on to this next thing?
When did you start that? Since she was a baby?
I feel like versions of that, age-appropriate versions of that, maybe always, since she could talk. But she also has just always been a kid of reason. Yes. I can always reason with her. I can always communicate with her.
You said that earlier. You said that about Dorothea.
Yeah, Dot will be very different. I have no idea how I'm going to parent Dot at this age. I have no clue. Because all of that then gets us to the conversation today where she was in her bedroom with her boyfriend with the door closed, which is something that not only do I allow, but I advocate for. And there are boundaries around that as well.
What are the boundaries?
Number one, as long as she remains open and communicative with me as far as where she is at physically, that's allowed. As long as they don't spend, like he was here today for, 4 hours. As long
is
as
he gone now?
Yeah.
Damn it.
I'm assuming he left. I know. So dumb. I know.
I'll sneak.
Yeah, next time.
Like, who's that crazy lady? I'll be like, oh, that's Aunt Tori. She'd be
Don't
crazy.
worry about her. She's just crazy Aunt Tori. Another boundary is you may have time in your room with the door closed, but that may not be the majority of the time that he's here.
Okay.
I need to see both of your faces more than I am not seeing both of your faces. You may not just come in, retreat to the room, close the door, and then that's where you stay. And that is important to me because I'm sure so many people are like cringing and recoiling right now. That is important to me because I'm sure like you grew up in a social environment where our friends who had restrictive parents were doing inappropriate things in public places in order to do what they wanted to do. And I think that it's very important that any level of intimacy she has with any person is in an environment where she feels safe. I do not ever want her to cross that boundary for herself just in order to get some kind of physical pleasure. I also think part of autonomy and part of self-knowing and self-understanding is understanding self-pleasure, right? And so like, it is not my place to tell her that she doesn't get to start to learn that part of herself. But again, we have boundaries. I know exactly where she is as far as her physical intimacy with her partner. I know that if that changes, if that crosses a threshold into like the next layer of intimacy, that we will have conversations about it. If we stop having those conversations, then the rules change. So like, as long as we can be open and honest with each other and I can help her, because what's important to me is one, she knows how to navigate things that she doesn't understand yet, but that are still very real. Like she doesn't understand her hormones.
No.
But I'm not going to gaslight her and tell her that they don't exist or she needs to ignore them. That's not realistic. Right? Yeah. And also like, I think the line between emotional and physical intimacy is very blurred when you are in a romantic relationship. And I don't think it's fair to teach her that one exists without the other. One does exist without the other, but she has to experience that naturally. That can't be something that I just tell her is the truth and therefore she's meant to just take it as gospel.
Right.
And to me, the most important thing, because Nick was, the first time it happened, Nick was like, he was like just ready to go down there and be like, you never close this door.
Yeah.
The door stays open. And so she had, door open. And I was like, hey, like, why are you leaving the door open because you want to? And she was like, no, Nick said I had to. And so I went to him and I was like, hey man, like I feel pretty strongly about this. If she is going to feel full autonomy over herself, she has to get comfortable with her boundaries to intimacy in a safe environment, which means in her bedroom with the door closed so that she feels comfortable because she is in a safe environment saying no when she's ready to say no. And that message is so consistently reinforced in a safe environment that the moment she is in an unsafe environment, she has no problem advocating for herself. There is no second guessing. There is no doubt. There is no anything. She is just able to say, this doesn't feel right to me. I'm not okay with it. The end.
Okay, but personal question. How do you not shit bricks as a parent?
Oh, no, all the time. Are you kidding me? It's horrible.
Because that's, I mean, like, I trust my kids. I don't trust anybody else in the world with my kids.
Well, and that's the thing too, is like, I know.
Because you said like door closed and I was like, my gut instinct was like, no, we have an open door policy always.
Yeah.
And
because that's the way we grew up, right?
Yes. But also like I have just heard horrible stories.
Of course.
But everything that you're saying makes so much sense. And I wonder if I had, and my parents never like put anything, like that on me.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Open door policy maybe, but I also remember.
Or we were just fully not allowed to be in my bedroom.
I don't remember. I had a lot of best friends that were boys.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that no one was ever considered a sexual anybody. But also like, I don't know. Yeah. As a parent, I'm like, how do you handle that? Do you just go in your room and scream in a pillow? Like, how do you handle that?
How do you trust? Sometimes, well, that's, I mean, we've always had very open communication.
Yeah.
And because I have cultivated an environment where she is always considered an autonomous person, where she always gets to come to the table and negotiate if she wants to. But she has to have a valid reason, right? Like she can't just come negotiate because she feels like it.
Because
like,
I do believe that, like with my boys, like we've always said that, like you don't have to hug anybody, you don't have to.
Yes.
You don't want to hug.
Yes.
You never have to kiss anybody. You don't want to kiss. Even if that means me, that's okay.
Yes.
You will come to me like when we have fights or disagreements or whatever. Like they like to take their space.
Yeah.
And I let them know where I am. I'm like, I'll be right outside the door when you're ready. But like, I'm not gonna bust in there and be like, we talk about this now. But when it comes to this next step, and would it be the same with a boy? Do you think it would be? I don't like to genderize
Here's
anything.
why I do it though, because I dated boys all growing up.
Yeah.
Until college.
Did you date girls?
Yeah, for a minute.
Cute.
For a time in New York, and then I was like, this is not.
Girls are crazy.
This ain't it. This ain't. But talk about anticipating needs. I mean, no one anticipates your needs better than a lesbian.
Chicks be on it.
Come on.
Yeah.
Never have I felt so cared for and thought about.
Yeah.
Anyway, them boys, they just don't got it.
They got something, but
a penis.
Yes.
Yes.
A pen 15
and testicles. A pen 15.
Pen 15.
Because I know what it's going to be like when she's not at my house.
Yeah.
And I want that environment that I don't have control over to be replicated in an environment where I do have control so that I can teach her how to navigate that environment in a safe place. So that then when eventually she wants to go hang out at her boyfriend's house, I'm not like, yeah, you can hang out at his house, but you can't go into his room, because I have no fucking control over that. And I have no control over the parents. And I have parents. I have parents. I have friends. I do have parents. I have friends who are parents of boys who are Rosalind's age, and almost unanimously, they all are like, yeah, they're allowed to be in the room with the door closed with their girlfriends. So like, why would I enforce a different environment?
Can you feel my heart, like how fast this made me?
I mean, even just talking about it gives me anxiety because it's so hard. But it's like, if I want her
it's important
to have the tools and to be empowered, to always know exactly what feels okay to her and what doesn't feel okay to her, and to be able to advocate without a second guess, I have to also put her in that environment and teach her how to navigate it.
Yeah.
Instead of being like, you can't be in that environment here, even though I know you're going to be in that environment outside of the home.
I mean, that's the same conversation that we had a few billion episodes ago of YouTube.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And be like, it's not fucking going anywhere.
Right.
So that's the conversation Pat and I have had with our kids, who love, like most kids, YouTube.
Yeah.
Because there's just crazy stuff on there. But it's like, it's not going anywhere. So like, let's give them the tools that when they see something, they say something. When they feel something, they get up, they walk away, right? They trust their instinct and their gut to say, oh, that ain't it.
Yeah.
But man, it's so scary on the way there.
It's so scary on the way there.
I don't know if it's actually happening, right? Like,
that's why. And it's like, how can I find out without also then being like, so how did it go? What did you guys do in your room behind the closed door?
Where
like,
was everyone?
What was that? Yeah. What was that like? When did you say no? You know, but she, to be fair, she also has been very good about saying she needs space, physical space when she needs it. You know, like, if he wants to hold her hand, but she doesn't feel like it, she'll say so. If he wants to put his arm around her or hug her, but she doesn't feel like it, she'll say so. Yeah. And so all I can do is keep reinforcing that message and hoping that it continues to translate, and keep talking to her in a constructive way and hoping that it sticks. And right now our communication is still so open. I mean, what's going to happen at the point when she comes to me and is like, I think I'm ready to start having sex? What am I going to do? I don't fucking know, Tori. Am I going to die? Probably.
Am I gonna die?
But also, at the end of the day, like, I just will never forget leaving a football game on a Friday night, walking to my car in the parking lot, and walking past a couple having sex in the back of their car. And I do not ever want her to feel like the only way that she can, quote unquote, get what she's looking for.
Yeah.
And I say that with a massive grain of salt, is to do it in an unsafe environment.
Yeah.
And that's
also,
what I reinforce with her.
Like, there's so
dirty,
many.
Yucky.
Like,
also, a high schooler's car. Gross. Like, when's the last time it was cleaned?
Probably never.
Never. There's French fries.
And if it's a football game, what does that bro smell like? No, queen. No, let us expect more.
So, but also that's why it's important for me to make sure that she always associates intimacy with privacy. Those two things should always go together. I'm not interested in having the kid that's having sex in the bathroom. She needs to, and it's important to me that, like, if she does want to increasingly explore different levels of pleasure, which is a thing that women also get to experience. It's not just for men.
I wish and it wasn't that boys got to experience it and girls didn't. Like, I didn't think that growing up, but I definitely wasn't like seeking pleasure.
No, of course not. Because that's not, like, the stereotype is that boys masturbate 100 times a day because pleasure is like the thing. Yeah. And then girls are meant to be this like sterile mannequin.
Untouched.
Yeah. It just makes no fucking sense. Like, yeah, pleasure is that's literally what puberty, that's a huge part of puberty that we cannot just disassociate from what's happening in their bodies. So, like, she deserves to know what pleasure.
Have you talked about that?
Pleasure?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And exploring herself?
Yes.
Okay.
And to be fair, I don't know what she does or doesn't do.
Yeah.
I have not.
Which we don't need to obviously put onto the internet either.
Right. And I'm also not going to sit down and be like, so do you, like.
What tools do you use?
Yeah. We're not going to do that.
No.
If she wants to come to me, she can.
Okay.
And I'm also very open. Like, we talk about lube in this house. We talk about vibrators in this house.
I don't really know how to talk to my boys about it. Now, granted, they're 8 and 5. So, like, I don't think we've necessarily, like, Sawyer's a grabber. Like, Finn's never a grabber of his bits.
Well, I think it's different because to me, I'm like, I am unstigmatizing the female sexual experience.
Yeah.
That is my number one priority.
Yeah.
Destigmatizing it, I would say that's parallel number one priority to safety with intimacy of any kind. Safety and destigmatization are my two priorities. And so rather than fighting against what I know to be true, I'm going to take what I know to be true and figure out how to distill what I can give her to empower her, staying within the boundaries of what I know to be true, which is that children do not wait until marriage to have sex. I also don't want that for her.
No.
I want her to be so clear on her wants and her needs before committing her life to someone.
You gotta take it
and
for a
I
ride
do
before you
not
buy it.
think
You know what
it
I'm
is
saying?
realistic to commit your life to somebody without understanding if you are sexually compatible.
No.
I don't think that's realistic.
No.
And I know that there are plenty of people that do it.
Yeah.
And they are welcome to have their own opinions and perspectives. That is my opinion and my perspective. And I'm not going to teach her that her purity is more important than making an informed decision.
Also, purity freaks me out.
Purity culture is fucking gross.
It's gross.
It's fucking gross. It's fucking gross.
Brittany didn't do it either, so let's let that go.
Oh my God.
Come on.
Ugh.
All mess.
Poor Brittany.
I know.
What a time. Just also like at that time in life and when we were growing up and pop culture was hyper sexualizing girls everywhere and then simultaneously slut shaming them all.
Yes, you had to have the purity ring.
Yeah.
You had to be the Jessica Simpson.
Yeah. You had to have the purity ring while also having massive amounts of cleavage and the tiniest skirt possible.
And being so sexualized.
Yeah. Yeah.
No wonder they are all little cuckoo bananas.
Yeah.
I'd be cuckoo bananas too. Be like, so you only want me if I look like this.
Right.
And I perform
like this. But I'm also
like this,
shamed for looking like this.
But also shamed for all of that.
Yeah.
And
it's fucking garbage.
my virginity goes to the highest bidder.
It's fucking garbage.
Yeah.
So we're not doing any of that for her.
Yeah, let's not do that.
We're not doing any of that. But I think it's a different conversation because to me, what I'm teaching her is autonomy, destigmatization, things that women are not naturally taught in our culture when it comes to pleasure and intimacy. Whereas boys are taught autonomy in pleasure from the fucking minute they have a penis.
Which is from the very beginning.
Which is from the very beginning, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like your messaging is different, right? Your messaging around safety is different. Your messaging is like, you have to be a safe person.
But also, I mean, yes, and there are people who take advantage.
100%.
Especially when they're
100%.
They're as vulnerable as they are.
Yeah.
And I think and I don't know why my brain is so dark, but I'm just like, has anybody touched you in that way?
Oh, I think about it all the time.
I think about it
because
all
the
the
statistics are
time.
terrifying. They're terrifying. It's almost always a friend or a family member. It's someone close to the family who can groom everyone from 300 miles out and then slowly work their way. I mean, that's the story that you hear all the time. So of course your mind goes there because that's what we know to be reality.
Also, like a lot of people don't do sleepovers anymore.
I know.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it will take hell and high water to get me to be like, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Go be in that person's.
I mean, she just went, that weekend trip.
Yes.
That I was.
How did it go?
Fucking heart attack the whole time. It was great.
Of course.
She crushed it. She crushed it. They all crushed it. They were just cute little nerdy nerds. It was just like so innocent.
Yeah.
But even with that, I'm like, first of all, I'm going to let you leave the city, go 2 hours out of the city with parents I don't know. That's a hard no. And then also on top of that, I'm going to let you be in their house for 2 nights. Also a hard no. And then sleep, like the most vulnerable thing you can do around strangers. No. So of course I had to meet the parents and do all the things.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not in a hurry to replicate that.
No.
I think it's a great once in a blue moon kind of experience.
Yeah.
But our sleepovers, I mean, also I feel like the pandemic changed it because of the pandemic bubbles that we had and the natural sharing of children so that parents could have some semblance of sanity.
Sure.
Because we were doing a lot of sleepovers in the beginning when we were in a bubble with people. Because it was the only social exposure that she could have. And it was like, great, I'll take the kids for a night. You guys sit and
look at each other.
Yeah, sit and think about how horrible life is without your child for a night, and then we'll alternate. But yeah, like sleepovers with new friends. Now that we're in high school, where we're not meeting the parents anymore,
You don't
still
meet
doing it.
fucking anybody.
I'm still doing it. I'm still like, give me the number. I want to know their address. I want to know what they do for a living. I want to know who's in the house, how many adults, how many children, how many animals. Is anyone else going to be
For
there?
all friends?
Are you? If
Or
she's
just a
if she's
sleepover?
going to a sleepover,
Sleepover,
at
okay.
somebody's house that I don't know, who's going to be there? Are the adults having friends over? Who else is going to be in the house? Are there going to be any adults that are not the two parents in the house? Are there going to be any teenagers that are not in this group, right? Like, who are there going to be cousins? Are there going to be neighbors?
Yeah.
Are there going to be, I want to know exactly who's going to be there the entire time.
Yeah.
I want to know if there are weapons in the house. If there are, I want to know if those weapons are behind a lock. I want to know if there's alcohol in the house. If so, I want to know if that alcohol is behind a lock. I want to know if there's access to drugs. I want to know if there's access to porn. I want to know everything. And I ask all of those questions. And I was telling somebody that. I don't think it was my dad, but it was definitely like a boomer man that was like, that's excessive. And I was like, yeah, well, some of us had experiences as children that we're trying to protect our fucking kids from. So like, I don't care if it's excessive. I'm going to do whatever I have to do to make sure that my children are safe.
We actually had a conversation with my mom about this because she's like, at what age? Because for Finn's birthday, we had all the people over, right? His like little friends. And a lot of his friends are our friends. We know the parents. And so just everybody would come over. And my mom was like, whatever happened to the days of just like dropping your kid off at a birthday party?
Never.
And I was like, that doesn't happen anymore.
No.
Like that does not happen anymore. I would not feel comfortable. In fact, we've had to experience this where he got invited to a birthday party at somebody's house. And I was like, cool. I hope they have some sparkling bubble water for me because I'll also be there.
Yeah.
And sure enough, there were probably a handful of kids who didn't have a parent there, but otherwise the walls were lined with parents who were awkwardly standing there because I mean, and I get what she's saying, like I get it, but I'm also like, that's not our reality anymore.
No.
She's like, why? And I was like, because bad shit happened to good kids.
Yeah. We grew up in a dark and fucked up time for kids.
Yeah. It's just like
those
when they're
latchkey
babies,
kids did not get taken care of.
Yeah. And it's like when they're babies and we don't put stuff in their cribs anymore because kids died.
Yeah. And we learned not to.
Yeah. So we're getting, better with age, maybe more guarded. And that does suck. Right. But like, I don't know what else to do about it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I actually disagree. I don't think that it sucks. I think they get to learn independence in different ways. And I think that ensuring that your children grow up safe and whole is, to me, not, as long as it's within reason, right? Like you still let them leave the house and still let them have friends. You're still letting him go to the birthday party. You're not keeping him from the party.
No.
You're just saying, I'm going to be there too, because the chance of something happening is not worth me getting 2 hours to myself.
No.
Not worth it.
No. And in this day and age, it's the only place to meet people.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's the only way to meet parents.
It's the only way to meet parents. They don't hand out directories anymore. The drop off is you drive up, you drop them off, you drive up, you pick them up.
Yeah.
I don't get out of the car. We don't get out of the car.
They are retrieved and inserted by their teacher.
Yeah. Which sucks too. Because I was like, I'd love to like, how do I get a hold of these people?
Oh yeah. And also like half of our social engagement with the other parents is at pick up and drop off because we walk them in. We have to walk through a gated with a door code. You got to enter the code to get the gate to unlock so parents are constantly crossing paths. But that's also when we learn the crazy shit that happens. Like Dot scratched one of her friends literally from the nape of his neck down to his lumbar spine, full on open wound scratched down his back. She said, and the parents also think this, everyone believes that they were just playing.
Sure.
However, the school...
You're like, I know different.
The school put a Band-Aid over part of it.
Okay.
Didn't fill out an incident report, didn't communicate with his parents, didn't communicate with us.
Oh no.
So I'm going to pick up the next day. I go to get her and the dad comes over and he's like, hey, we're chit-chatting, whatever. And he's like, did you know about the scratch? And I'm like, what are you talking about? He shows me a picture. It's a full-on fucking straight down his back scratch. Bleeding scratch. And he's like, yeah, the school didn't even tell me. I had to ask him what happened when I got him in the bath.
Oh no.
Yeah. So like there's also some significant value in having that FaceTime with parents.
Yeah.
Just to understand what's going on for your kids. Cause then I have to go and be like, hey babe, you good? Did you was that on purpose? Were you feeling something? Do we need to make a repair? Like, I gotta help you navigate this, but I can't do that if I don't have any information.
Yeah. Ugh.
I know. It's hard. It's a hard time to be raising kids. But all of that to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. I barely let Rosin go anywhere without me now. The people that I feel comfortable with her sleeping over with there are two families in particular, and both of them are families that we know very well because they've been in this friend group together since grade school.
Yeah. I mean, like, we had an incident in the laundry list of questions that I'm gathering.
Sure.
For future involvement with other parents. The one that I didn't add until Sawyer was firearms. Are there firearms in your house? Mm-hmm. Which a lot of people do, which is their choice, and that's fine.
So long as
it is locked up high and tight.
Yep.
Because my dad, who was he was an air marshal after 9/11, he became an air marshal. So he was the pilot on the flight who had a firearm.
Yep.
So he had to keep it on him and brought it home and all that. And but so he has one, which is he and I have gone to have a fun conversation about. But we put Sawyer in a little, like, it was in our neighborhood. And so we could walk there. He was there for like a few hours just to like get him acclimated after COVID.
Okay, so this is like the first preschool or daycare. First daycare.
First out of like stranger house, right? But what's funny is it was our setup. It's in our neighborhood, so like the house is the same layout as our house, but mirrored. Which is so like when I walked in to like, meet the lady, I was like, what the hell? I was like, that's
alternate reality.
Yeah, it felt very strange.
You were in the upside down.
Yeah, and because it very different. It was this lovely Indian lady, and everything was like pristine clean. Their fine dining was all set up
for a daycare.
Well, they had like a daycare.
Bless her.
So where we have like our kids. It's where
like the little play area is?
Yeah,
the formal, quote unquote formal dining room.
It would have been a formal dining room. They keep the daycare, but then if you kept going towards the kitchen, they had
okay.
It looked like IKEA. It was like real fancy and nice. Everything was just so clean. I was like, there you go, Miss Sandy. Well, anyway, one time that we got this random, they were like, daycare's canceled today, so you have to keep them home. And I was like, there was a illness or something. It's like, okay. Then a few days later, it was like, we're canceling daycare for the rest of the week. There was a death in the family. Okay. And then it was around 4th of July, and she was like, we'll open up right after 4th of July. And I was like, okay. On our week off, ran into somebody else who was also at part of the daycare. She was like, did you hear what happened? I said, what do you know? She said, her husband killed himself in the house. And I said, huh?
No.
And it was very traumatic, obviously.
Was it a firearm?
Yeah. Shot himself. And in the closet, I know what the closet looks like because I have the same layout as what we call the Harry Potter closet. But the fact that, it was crazy because like she was opening back up this daycare that's in this house.
God, can you imagine?
No. Because I supposedly,
but also she's got to make money
because he didn't leave, any money. I don't know. Right. She had come home. Her mother also lived. And so her and her mother found him, came out screaming.
Oh my God.
Then got all the neighbors involved.
Yeah.
And so this gal who I was talking to, she was like, I pulled all the kids.
Oh,
there weren't any kids in the house when it happened, but like, it was like right where it does happen.
Yeah.
And so, but I was just like, my question was like, was that firearm there the whole time?
Yeah.
Like R.I.P. And I'm so sad that happened. That's, and then of course I had to tell this lady I'm not bringing my child back.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's so hard.
Because I was just like, I'm so sorry. And, I'll pay whatever I have to pay to like get out of it. But like, sorry, I can't bring my kid into that house.
Yeah.
I know there's a ghost somewhere in that house. Like I can.
Sure.
But that was, I remember meeting her and never asking that question.
Yeah.
Because I just assumed.
But that's the thing, right? Like our parents just assumed we could go to sleepovers and other parents were trustworthy, and you have to
And
ask
you hear
questions.
all those horrible stories of like at a sleepover, they find guns and they're like playing
around.
You know,
Oops, didn't know it was loaded.
Yes. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not. I'll be overprotective.
Yep.
If that's my choice, overprotection or we're fucking around with guns.
Yeah.
Then yeah, I'll go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is. I mean, it's not worth the risk. It's never worth the risk. And I'm not here to tell people whether or not to have firearms in their house.
No.
Just be responsible gun owners. And where
but
is
also teach the kids, right?
And
I think
it
goes into all the stuff we were talking about of like teach the kids.
Yeah. If you are at somebody else's house and you see a gun, you do not touch it. You do not play with it.
Assume it's real.
Mm-hmm.
And go tell somebody.
And then call me and tell me you don't feel good. If you're afraid, because I remember having that conversation with Rosa once where she was like, well, what? Because I think I said, like, go talk to an adult. And she was like, well, what if it's their gun? And they get upset that I'm asking about it. And I was like, then call me and tell me your stomach hurts.
Yeah, I'll come get you right away.
Whatever the thing is, I will come get you. No questions asked.
Yeah.
But we always have an out. If she's anywhere that she's uncomfortable.
Yeah, I remember my dad and mom saying that. We never had like curfew or anything like that. I remember them being very trusting. One time I pushed the curfew and we had consequences. I can't remember what the consequences were. I think it was like you have to be home by, a certain time. Now you have a curfew for a little bit.
Yeah.
But it was so funny because I remember it wasn't even I didn't do it. I was with a friend and she was trying to like meet up with this guy. And we walked into, and I was having a sleepover at her house. And to be fair, it was 3:00 in the morning when we got home.
Oop.
And I walked in and it was Christmas time because I walked into her living room to look at their Christmas tree, and here sitting next to the Christmas tree with no other fucking lights on in the room is her father.
Of course. Just
and
sitting in the dark
and
waiting.
He didn't say anything to me.
Of course.
He didn't say anything to me. I just saw him. Oh God. I saw him and I was like, Julie, your dad's here. I was just like, oh my God. Is that real? Like, it's not a puppet? Like,
there's a mannequin of your father.
What's happening? And it was so scary. And he, of course, like had a discussion with my parents. Because I was just there. I wasn't even like trying to get with this dude. I was just like, I'm just here for the popcorn. Like, like that was pretty much my whole high school experience.
Same.
Yeah. I was just like, you guys, whatever. Guys are weird. And what do you do with that dingle dangle? What do you do with the gonzo's nose between your legs? Like, I don't understand. You know what I'm saying? It looks like an alien's finger. Like, I don't understand. And so like, anyway. And I was like, wow, I ruined my curfew for you. Bummer.
Yeah. Cause you wanted to hook up with some guy.
Hook up with some guy.
Yeah.
But I do remember like not like having that freedom, never having like those really strict rules.
Yeah.
Did give like I wasn't ever trying to fight back.
Yeah. So you weren't
I was like,
rebelling.
I'm tired. I'm going home.
Yeah.
But to be fair, I was, I was like, yeah, I'm tired. Good night.
But look at you listening to your body and advocating for your own needs.
There were some times I didn't.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure of it. But that's the thing is that the minute you leave your home environment, you don't have control, or you lose control. And you don't necessarily lose all of it, but you can't control the people around you and what they're doing. And you're either indirectly exposing yourself to something that is potentially dangerous or not, right?
Yeah.
But like, are you supposed to recognize that as a teenager? No. I mean, I remember the first time, oh God. It was early elementary school. I remember the apartment complex. I don't remember who it was. Was it maybe there was this girl, Sheena?
Sure.
But also it could very well not have been her. I think I met her at a McDonald's play place and we became friends.
Cool.
I think it was her apartment, but it could have very well have not been her apartment. Somebody's apartment. I went for a sleepover. The parents were gone. The older sister was supposed to be watching us.
Oh.
She had her boyfriend over.
Yeah.
They were watching porn and having sex on the couch while we were supposed to be sleeping on the living room floor in sleeping bags.
Ew.
Yeah.
That's so traumatic.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm like, great. Here's how I teach my daughter not to ever just try to close her eyes and look the other way in this kind of situation.
But how would you, I mean, like, I try to think of like young Tori in that scenario. I'd be like, what am I supposed to do here?
That's exactly what I was like, I'm the youngest. I don't have, there are people here that are older than me. The
Well,
older
and there
ones
wasn't a cell phone.
No, the older ones are supposed to be the ones in charge. So like, I don't have anyone I can go to. And what am I going to do? Like go call my parents at 1 a.m?
I mean, I guess
like,
you could have.
Can you come back? Yeah, but also
did they create that space?
Right. No.
Yeah, they didn't.
They didn't create that space. No. I'm sure I was probably afraid of calling them at 1 a.m, afraid of getting in trouble for calling them at 1 a.m, you know?
Yeah.
And like my child brain justified that as a reason not to call them rather than like maybe temporarily them being upset about the fact that it's 1 a.m and their sleep is being interrupted. For the greater good of the situation, which is getting me the fuck out of that environment. Yeah. But like, I didn't think about that. I thought about the fact that I was going to get in trouble if I did anything or said anything. So I just like, you know, stayed there and just tried to be as
zip that
quiet as possible.
All the way up.
Yeah.
Suffocate to death.
Yep. Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah. And I know so many people with stories like that. Nick has similar stories. I know so many kids with stories like that.
I mean, I remember bullying being pretty rough. Not for me personally, but the stories that I've heard of what people would do to each other, like while they're sleeping. And,
yes.
You know, I'm just like, no.
Yeah.
That's just not. I can't trust anybody making good decisions at 1 o'clock in the morning. That's for damn sure.
No. Yeah, it was very yucky.
Oh, I'm sorry you had to experience that.
Thanks. Me too.
Mm-hmm.
That one is imprinted.
Well, that would change how I perceived sex.
Oh, yeah.
Probably forever.
Mm-hmm. Also, like, being exposed to porn without consent.
Also that. And how porn is, yeah. Porn, nope.
It made me very, like, afraid of sex. I was like, that's a thing that you should never do.
Well, because
that looks terrifying.
That looks painful for the woman.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Because it's not like, porn's really about the women's pleasure.
Nope.
Right?
So, nope. That goes back to the beginning of the conversation, right?
Yeah.
Women's pleasure is not a part of the conversation.
No. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Child rearing. What a time.
Not for everybody.
Not for the faint of heart.
But if you're in it, I think it's nice to have these conversations, though, to especially me, I'm watching, other parents that I respect. And I'm like,
watching me struggle through it first.
Take notes and be like.
And then when I learn that somehow the way that I've done it has caused some other issue, that I could tell you that.
I mean, to be fair, it's going to always going to do something.
Yeah.
Right?
There will always be an unintended outcome.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know that, and my parents were pretty kick-ass, but there were things that were missed.
Yeah.
And they were doing the best that they could with the tools that they had, right?
Yeah.
And I'm doing the best that I can with the tools that I have.
Yeah.
And I'm going to mess it up probably 78% of the time.
Oh, easily.
Right? And so, but it is these where I don't like, or I didn't get the tools early enough that I'm trying to gain those tools to give to my children. But I'm like, which way will they be received?
Yeah.
I think that's some of my bigger fears. It's like, I'm intending this with the best intention, but I don't know if I'm creating a monster.
Oh, 100%, because we don't know what we can't see, right? We make the decisions that we make based on what we've been able to see, but that doesn't mean we can see everything. So sooner or later, there are going to be unintended consequences of the things that we have done, which is why open communication is so important for me.
Yeah.
Teaching her to advocate for herself, to negotiate, teaching her that just because there is a natural power dynamic in my responsibility to keep her safe doesn't mean that power dynamic then means she doesn't get to have a voice. And if I do something that upsets her or hurts her, she gets to come to me and say that, and we get to have a conversation about it. And making sure that there are open, safe lines of communication across all topics, across all time. And if there is a breakdown in any one of those lines at any point, we identify the breakdown and then we fix it so that we can continue to have those open lines of communication.
Yeah.
Because there's all kinds of scary shit that you have to navigate as you become an independent person in the world. And I don't want her to go to her friends and say, how do I navigate this? When you're going to somebody else who's the same age as you, guess where you're not going to get the safest information? I'd rather have her come to me.
Yeah. Yeah. I like keep reinforcing him like, listen, you can say anything to me.
Yeah.
You can tell me anything. As long as you're telling the truth, you're not going to get in trouble. That's my hope.
Yeah.
But, I have such young kids still. But also, I mean, it's just one of those things. It's like, what's being heard? What's being remembered?
Well, and also like how you say something versus how they take it.
Yes.
Yeah. It's so hard.
It's so hard. I don't like it here. Can I just not? But then I'd be sad because I want to have my kids.
Yeah.
And I do love my kids.
I mean, they're the best.
They are. They really are.
They're real cute.
And, Pat and I do our best to like figure out, be like, okay, that wasn't good.
Mm-hmm.
How can we make it better?
And then do you have conversations with them?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's to me, that's the key difference.
It doesn't right now seem to matter to them. They're just like, okay.
But that's because they're used to it.
Maybe.
Which is teaching them that that's what's normal.
That's
which
a good perspective shift.
Then means you're welcome. Which then means that when they are ready to call you out, and that day will come, that you have already established a foundation where you can then have a conversation.
Oh, Finn already does. Like I'll raise my voice, and he's like, "Mama, you're raising your voice," and I was like, "Screw you, man.
You don't know me.
You don't know me." I was like, "But also, herd chef."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Okay, thank you for keeping me honest." But man, Finn can hold on to things forever. He's a cancer tube, like so he's like big emotions all the time.
The hugest, the hugest.
But like one negative thing happens to him, and he will remember it. Like taints.
Yeah.
Anything like, gosh, what's a good example? One time we were trying to get him to like into golf, and he was with my dad, and they were just practicing at my dad's house, and my dad like pulled like a little bit of his hair back here, like joking with him, right? Just like jostling with him, right? Just like fucking with him a little bit.
Yeah.
Finn quit right then and there. And every time golf comes up, he said, no, remember. He does it every single time.
Wow.
And it was years ago.
And was your dad messing with him because he was like not listening or?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which we had a conversation. I was like, hey, Dad, that won't work with him.
Yeah. Sorry, you weren't taught how to use your words. We use our words in this house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we can't do that. I mean, he's held on to stuff for me where it was like the best intentioned thing and it was taken the wrong way. But I'm not going to be like, well, you heard that wrong.
Yeah.
You silly little bully.
Right.
No, I'm going to be like, I'm sorry that I yelled or got whatever.
Right.
And, I needed to take a deep breath or to put myself in timeout.
Yeah.
But I think the things that scare me, and those are great. Like, I'm glad that we get to practice that all the time in our little lives. But I think I'm so scared for what's coming down the line. Because I can't, like, he's even told me, he's like, oh yeah, there's kids his age with phones, fully working phones. I know. And I hate the internet. Like, I hate it. I don't trust it. There's just, all I can imagine is porn everywhere.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, like, that thing that Nick sent me actually about Sonic. Yeah. And because he brought up this Shin Sonic, and I was like, what is this thing? And so I looked it up, and I was like, that looks like Sonic on crack cocaine.
Yeah.
What
all the drugs
are we doing there? That is bath salts if I've ever seen it. And like, and then, your lovely husband sent me this 30-minute mini documentary about like the crazy people, God bless you if you listen to our podcast, who are like Sonic fanatics who have now made like Sonic porn and all this horrible stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've like looked at my mother-in-law and been like, are you going to be the reason that Finn watches porn for the first time?
Yeah. Because you're not paying attention.
Because you're not paying attention.
Yeah. And the algorithm just looks for like content.
Yes.
So like Sonic video. Oh, suddenly it's Sonic porn.
Because I don't want to feel like an overbearing, parent. And I know that all the grandparents think I am. I know that I'm sure somebody's called me a helicopter parent. Even though I'm out there like not being, I don't think I'm a helicopter
No, I think
parent.
you're a pretty laid back parent.
Right. I'm just like, yeah,
You're
listen,
just present and
fuck around and find out on
engaged. Yeah. And also, like, I would say to any of the older generations who are calling you a helicopter parent, maybe someday you should get curious and sit down with your kids and ask them what happened when you weren't paying attention.
that. I don't think they could handle it.
Because I guarantee you, every one of them has a story.
Yeah. We've got some stories. I mean, I think I protected myself. I think either I've blacked it all out.
But even just thinking about the people around you and the things that have happened to the people around you, the
listening to
things
my
that you know
friends,
about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And being like, thank God that didn't happen to me.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean it won't happen to my babies.
Right. I mean, I have some fucked up stories, but I have some friends with some horrifying stories.
Mhm.
Horrifying stories. And I'm like, that just as easily could have been me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The me walking around with fuck off on my face really served me well. It sounds like.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, thank God that I protected myself so much that maybe I had no friends, but like, at least I wasn't,
But look at you. You're safe.
safe. And it took me a long time to like really experience other things, but it happened when it was supposed to happen.
Yeah. And who needs to be in a rush to do anything?
No, I mean, that's part of it of not rushing their adolescence and
Mhm.
their innocence.
Mm-hmm.
That's very important to me of keeping them innocent,
Yeah.
but not ignorant.
Well, and also age appropriate independence.
Yeah.
I feel like our generation was really pushed to be independent
Early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I believe that independence is a very important tool for children.
Yeah.
It has to be age appropriate. It has to correspond with where they are at developmentally. Where is their frontal lobe? What kind
Are
of
they 25?
What kind of independence can you give them when they
Mhm.
don't have the ability to make smart decisions?
Yeah.
You can't give them free reign and then be like, oh my God, I can't believe they fucked up. What's wrong with them? I mean,
We got to experience age appropriate moment actually today, real time, with Sawyer, he's never, my kids know when we draw or write, it's on a piece of paper.
mm-hmm,
They've never drawn on books or walls or anything like that.
mm-hmm.
They're also like very fastidious human beings, which is its own special, unique thing. I'm like, get dirty. And they're like, ew.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, well, great. Ride a bike. No. Okay. But Sawyer had taken a pen and was drawing. We had like little books out and he drew for the first time in his almost 5 years on like a book. And because I was like getting ready for the day.
Yeah.
And I went over and I said, oh, hey, babe, like that's a book. We can draw in our coloring books on pieces of paper, right? But this is not where we're drawing.
Yeah.
We had done it to like 3 books. And now, of course, they're books that we were like trying to give away. Right?
Oh,
they're like,
I was going to say, was it all your ACOTAR books?
No, yeah. They're like his books, honestly. They're his books. So at the end of the day, they're his. So like go for it, I guess.
Yeah.
But I was just, and what surprised me, and I've never seen this color in him, was embarrassment.
Mm-hmm.
And he got mad first.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, it's, you're okay. I'm not mad.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not mad. And it's totally fine. But I was like, let's go get changed for the day. I was like sitting in his room waiting for him. And I was like, Sawyer, come here. He's like, no. And I was like, okay. But we got to go do stuff. So like, it's really okay. You're not in trouble. Let me reiterate. You're not in trouble. I am not mad. You're not in trouble. Cause that was my, like, listen, I am too trusting of a 5-year-old. And then he comes in and he looks at me and he's like, I threw the pen down the stairs. I was like, yeah, you tell it. I was like, okay. I was like, you feel better? And he was like, no. And then he started to cry.
Oh.
And so I gave him a
had
hug.
to get the shame out first.
And I was just like, oh man, I am seeing so many colors of you right now.
Yeah.
Which is so new. And I think new for him too. Like he was just like, he's never been like in that moment of me being like, hey babe, we're not doing that. That's not it.
Yeah.
He was just like, shame. And he was like, what is this feeling? And feeling like he didn't know what to do. And so it was so interesting. I was just like, oh. And also shame on me. Like, not shame on me. That's not,
Right.
I trust my kids. They know the
Yeah.
boundaries in the home. And so, yeah, I let them roam, free roam around the house.
I mean, it is their home.
It's their home.
It's their home, man.
And like all the things that are important for them not to be a part of, right? Which really isn't anything in my, I mean, like, I'm trying to think of like what's inappropriate.
Yeah.
A vibrator, that's a way. They can't get to that.
Yeah, I would say not age appropriate.
Yeah.
Right? They don't need to know
You
about
know,
that
the
yet.
knives are high,
Yeah.
but they're also like, yeah, they know. You know, Pat cooks a lot, so we talk about, you know, it's hot, this is sharp, all the things. Yeah, so I'm very trusting of my kids in the home, but now I have to just be aware that Sawyer's still learning some stuff because he's not even 5.
Yeah.
God love him.
Little buddy.
Yeah. Being there for that, witnessing him, like, see that. But I also thought in that moment, I was like, if I got ragey at him,
all he would do is suppress that.
all he would do is suppress that.
Yeah.
Like, that was a moment, if it not for him, but for me, of like what a calm parent can be.
Yeah.
I think like the older generation looks at the quote unquote gentle parenting and they're like, oh, a bunch of softies. And I was like, there is a difference between gentle parenting and passive parenting.
Yes. And also, like, look at how many maladjusted adults we have in this world because they were only ever met with anger and rage and learned how to suppress their shame and their feelings. And now they don't fucking know how to deal with their feelings. And we have a whole generation of serial killers. Like, let's just maybe make smarter decisions.
70s were a dark time.
80s, 90s.
Yeah, well, oh,
thousands.
Yeah. It's interesting to look at all those and like all of them had their own very specific darkness.
Yeah.
Right? Like all the 70s when serial killers really came out.
Yeah.
Like we had the Ted Bundys.
We had the
Zodiacs.
We had that boom.
I mean, yeah, it was like
the I-5 killer.
The I-5, the Green River killer. Like we had, I mean, which, you know, I love a good murderino moment. But then
I think I read the I-5 killer like maybe 10 times. Like,
I haven't
way
read
too many
it.
times.
I can't read it. I can listen to it, but I cannot read. And I can watch it.
Oh, I had the paperback.
Oh, nice.
I can still picture it. Like photo straight out of the 80s.
Oh.
I mean, it probably was printed in the 80s, I would imagine.
Yeah.
But
because it happened in the 70s. That's when it started to come out.
Yeah. I wore that book down.
Yeah.
I think the spine ended up breaking because I had read it so many times. Yeah.
But then also,
God.
then
Anyway.
the 80s was like drugs, rock and roll, sex. The 90s was just like, let's just F it all.
Yeah.
Let's see how much destruction we can do and get away with.
Yeah.
And then this early 2000s was just like, let's be chic and
let's
skinny.
hypersexualize everything. Everything.
The smaller the skirt.
Yeah.
The thicker the Ugg boot.
Yeah. Oh my God. The
chunkier the jewelry.
Yeah.
The dark skin. Just like, oh.
Fake, all the fake tanning.
The fake tanning that happened.
Oof. What a time.
What a time.
What a time. The chunky blonde highlights.
Oh man, I wanted
stripes.
so
the
deeply
the
Kelly Clarkson.
Yeah.
I wanted the Kelly Clarkson so bad. I wanted the dark brown.
Yeah.
Light blonde.
Yeah.
Red streak.
Yeah.
Give that to me. I never got it.
Oh, sorry, babe. You want it now? We can do that for you. We can give Inner Tori that.
Red, as I've found out, because I've been blonde.
Yeah.
Hated it. I have been super, super dark. That I can pull off because she just looks hella Italian.
Yeah, it just makes you look more Italian.
Yeah, and blonde is like, red stays in my hair forever. Can't get out of it because my my hair like pulls red anyway. Like there's some auburny to it. So yeah, if I put red, stays. I'm just like a redhead forever. Which is funny because my brother he has 2 little girls. One is blonde, Corinne's blonde, his wife. But my second niece is redhead.
Ooh.
And they were like, what? But what's funny is Finn has dark brown hair. Sawyer's blonde. Pat and I have dark hair. And people were like, what's that about? Well, Ross was blonde when he was born, and I had red in my hair.
Both of my children were
interesting.
Blonde. Or no, both of my children had dark hair when they were born and then went blonde. Roslyn went brown, I think, around 10. But I was the same. I was like blonde. I was a blondie. And then went.
I want to keep Sawyer blonde. I'm like going to I don't know, rub a lemon on his head and stick him out in the sun. Cause I'm like,
just shampoo his head with hydrogen peroxide.
Yeah, I'm like, do not go dark, babe. Don't do it. He's almost 5 and he's still,
Come to the light.
He's dark. He's sandy blonde. He's still still in the blonde category, but like, I'm like, put your head out the window. Just get that.
More ultraviolet rays, please.
Yes. Oh my God. Stop. Cause yeah, I won't recognize him if he's not. I'm gonna hate it.
I'm picturing him right now with dark hair and it's so
it's
weird.
Gross.
It's
like he's
so
just a little old
weird.
man. Ew. No, he has to stay blonde. If you're listening, Sawyer, stay blonde.
Stay blonde.
Your mama wants you to stay blonde.
Thank you.
Anyway, I can't wait to, I mean, I don't know how many teenage listeners or teenage parent listeners we
Parents
have.
of teenagers.
God, that was hard for me to say. We've obviously
been talking for 500 years. Yeah.
Because summertime.
Summertime.
And the living is busy.
Fucking insane.
But it'd be interesting to have a conversation about that and be like, what are some tips and tricks?
Yeah, and I want to hear other people's. I feel like we're all doing the best we can in a fucking vacuum.
Yeah,
and like we're relying on podcasts and we're relying on the Dr. Becky's of Instagram, and we have these resources that we're relying on. But like I so rarely get to speak to other parents about what they're doing.
Yeah,
so rarely, and that to me is more important. I could watch all the Dr. Becky videos and I get great information from them.
Yes.
Great information. I can watch the John Delonys. I can consume the stuff that I think is valuable.
Mm-hmm.
But if I don't know what's happening in my community, I can't set my child up for success.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of her friends from elementary school, who is a male, whose mom is a friend of mine, we were talking about, how they navigate time at home. And she was one of the ones that was like, I'm texting with the mom of his girlfriend who is like, oh, they're not allowed in the bedroom. And she's like, oh, well, so then that's why they always come over here, because our rules at our house are
different.
Just be safe. Just be smart.
Yeah. Just communicate.
Just communicate. Yeah. And so that's when I was like, oh, well, also like that mom didn't realize that she probably should have asked what the rules were at their house. Right. Like there is that too. But now I'm like, okay, this is where people in my community are with how they're parenting their children. And that tells me what I need to focus on with mine and like what the parameters are that I'm working within. I'm not sending her to a Catholic school where everyone is hella repressed and like lashing out and acting out at every possible turn. She's in a progressive community, which means that like, I'm not saying one is better than the other, but I almost have to be more proactive because I only know how to parent from a perspective of hella repressed kids that just act the fuck out because they are so repressed.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's like to be in like a more progressive community where kids are
smarter than I was, smarter than I am.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
So like the only way that I can prepare myself for that is to know what's going on around me. And I get access to that so infrequently. So yes, please, if you are a parent of a teenager or a parent of a now adult,
I
want to hear about those teenagers.
Hear about it.
I want to know.
What do we got to look forward to?
What are the things that you're proud of yourself for doing? What are the things that you've, looking back, you feel like were mistakes?
Yeah.
What did you learn from?
Well, and like I have the kind of the opposite problem with Finn school. It's a lot of non-English speaking community who do not want people at their house. Yeah. And so like that was like that kid who ran up to me, little Carlos, and he was like, my mom doesn't let me go to houses. It's a special occasion because that's a birthday, but like who he got invited to Finn's birthday. Yeah. He did not come. They did not RSVP. I sent actually it was one of our listeners, Michaela, thank you. She was like, listen, this is what I did. Because she listened to the podcast and she was like, this is what I did. I sent the things, right? I put the invites. I gave them to the kid. Kid handed them out to his people. On the invite, I put RSVP for the because it wasn't at my house. It was at my parents' house. And so I wasn't going to put my parents' address on these random things that hopefully made it to the homes. I didn't know, right? Yeah. And so I said RSVP to get the address. And so the people...
Smart.
Yeah. And so people,
oh my God, that's so smart.
Yeah. And so the people who were going to show up, text me. which then I had numbers
Mm-hmm.
of these parents.
Yes. So then you have direct contact
with them. And it was so nice. And I had like 4 people show up and from his class, but like all, you know, there's a bunch that didn't RSVP, never heard from them. And they were all of the non-English speaking families. Yeah. And that was a bummer for Finn.
Yeah.
Because those are some of his best buds. And it's like, you know, we ended school and I was like, can't contact them. And, you know, he's like, did you hear from Carlos? And I was like, no, I haven't, babe. Like,
sorry, buddy.
So sorry.
Such a different world.
Yeah. And so I was just like, I don't know how to, you know, get to know my community.
Yeah.
Because everybody's real closed off.
Yeah. Well, and school policies are so different now.
Well, I mean, like,
which I respect and I understand.
But like, we didn't know his teacher was pregnant because of HIPAA. Right. They weren't allowed to tell anybody. Yeah. Well, then she left like a month out of school to go on maternity leave. We also didn't know that was happening. The only reason I knew it was happening is because I'm an art docent. Mm-hmm. And I was like, hey, I'd love to like come in. She's like, oh, that's great because that's my last day. And I was like, oh, what? Excuse me? She's like, oh, yeah, I'm being induced on Thursday. I was like, what? Who's teaching my kid?
Who's watching the kids?
Who's watching the kids? Like, and it was a lovely lady but I didn't know this lady. I still don't know who. Yeah. But anyway,
it's hard. I mean, the only reason that we both years that she was in pre-K, the parents got together and formed a WhatsApp group for the parents of the classroom. But independent of that, no communication. We get like the Friday email from the school of like, here's all the events for the coming week, but like no classroom level communication.
Yeah. I mean, and I'll be that parent. I'll be a room parent. But even that wasn't an option. It didn't seem like, unless I'm just missing something, which is possible because, you know, I'm cuckoo bananas. But
and also when you're not connected, you don't know what you're missing and what you're not missing because you're not connected.
I mean, luckily this last year they came up with like an app for the school.
Smart.
Where the teacher could communicate, send like an instant message to everybody. Mm-hmm. She didn't utilize it though.
Yeah. I'm not surprised in this part of the
country. But she was also pregnant, right?
Yeah. But also I feel like the PNW is like the last to adhere to stuff like that.
Yeah.
Where they're like, new technology. Oh, I can't.
Right. But so hopefully his next teacher will be a little bit more forward. Oh, but here's we're going to go way over now. But like Finn, I think, has a little crush on his teacher for next year. And I was like trying to play it really cool.
Yeah.
Because I was like, and it's not 100%, right? Because but his kindergarten teacher was on the softball team. Her kid was on Sawyer's softball team. Anyway, she's like, oh, I looked at the roster and I think he's in this classroom. And then I got the yearbook and I was like, oh, Finn, by the way, I think you're in this teacher's class. And he was like, what do you mean? And I was like, what do you mean? What do I mean? You're going to be in her class? And he started to like go
like air himself out with his shirt.
He's like, my heart is beating. And he said, he's like, my heart is beating so fast. And I was like, oh, well, tell me more. Why do you think that? He was like, and he didn't really want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Obviously. But I was like, do we like her? And he was like, yes. And I was like, okay, bud. So he might not learn anything in second grade, but like he might be. And I also, does he know she's a cutie?
Does he know what a crush is? Like, does he know that he has a crush on her, or is he just like having a physiological response? And he's like, what is this?
Well, I don't know. See, and there's where I'm like, what do I talk about?
Yeah.
Like, if you could give me advice, because I'm asking, what should I like? What's when this naturally comes up again when we're about to start school? Like, how do I talk to him about that? He knows about boyfriends and girlfriends,
right? I would say, what do you think about her? What do you like about her? Like he said he likes her. What do you like about her? And just like ask the open-ended questions and see, because what do you like about her is it could be anything. I like that she has art time every day. I like that she plays with kids on the playground. I like that she's, who knows what it will be.
Could be anything. But she dresses really fun.
Right? I feel like you could probably start to get some context clues from asking questions like that. That's just always my default, is to ask open-ended questions.
Yeah. Because I'm just like, I want to guide him.
Rather than being the parent that's like, ooh, do you have a crush? And like immediately inciting shame.
Do that.
An embarrassment?
And when I have heard a grandparent be like, who's your girlfriend? I'd be like, no.
Nope.
We don't need girlfriends.
Nope.
We have friends.
Yep.
And friends can be boys, girls, and anything in between. But we're not going to be doing that.
No, we're not going to be doing that at any point.
Because he already gets that from watching the movies that he watches. I mean, it's just pumped onto them as much as possible. It's like, because he even said, he was like, so you guys were boyfriend and girlfriend, and then you got married. Yeah, like he likes chronological. He's like,
Dot does the same thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sawyer asked me to marry him this morning.
Oh, buddy, because he just loves you so much.
Yeah, he's like, Mama, will you marry me?
You're like, babe.
I was like, yeah,
you got it. You got it because you don't get it.
Yeah, you got it because you don't get it.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, babe. Because he always sees the picture. We have a wedding photo in our bedroom, and he's like, because you look like a princess.
Oh,
I know,
buddy.
They're very sweet. Because Finn used to say the same shit. But yeah, that's going to be a new moment where I also have to get all the adults in his life on the same page, which most of them are. Most of them are. But yeah, I don't want to do the like, oh, do you have any girlfriends?
No.
You got any boyfriends?
No.
Oh, just
don't do that.
They just have friends.
They're just kids. Let him just be kids.
He's 8. Yeah. I almost called him 6. Sorry, Finn. He worked very hard.
And age.
Yeah, he's an age. Anyway.
If that's not parenting in a nutshell, man, I don't know.
Anyway.
That was a doozy.
I mean, what did we even talk about?
Who knows?
But also
everything. As per usual.
As per usual. I want to hear parenting tips.
Same. I want to hear all the things.
Like, let us grow the community so that we're less fearful and we're more educated on the different ways.
Yes.
On the different ways.
Because it's all different. If I were raising these girls in New York, I would be parenting them differently than I am parenting them here. When I was parenting Roslyn in Indonesia, I was parenting her differently. We had far more strict safety precautions.
Yeah.
You know, like it's just there's so much about your environment that influences the way that you navigate. And so I want to know, what do you do? What is your environment? Where in the world are you? What is the environment around you? What is the social environment in the school?
Oh my God.
How do you do it? How do you do it?
How do you do it?
How do we survive all of this?
But
do we survive?
And this is where you can write to us, right? You can email us at itsnothingyitseverythingpodcast@gmail.com, or on Instagram, send us DM, it's nothing, it's everything pod, after you hit that follow button. And
come to our Facebook group. Yeah. And post on our wall. Is that not a thing anymore? Feed? Feed. Make a comment.
Shit, I don't know.
I don't know what it is anymore.
I don't know.
Poke us?
I never got that either. I was like, what am I poking?
Oh, it's just a way for boys who can't use their words to flirt with you. In my experience, anyway.
I thought everything was dumb. All right. Well, on that note,
see you next Tuesday.
Heavens to Murgatroyd.